Well, good evening and welcome into the semifinals tonight of the Traditional Bank Classic. Gary Ball with Tony Wise, the head basketball coach over Franklin County tonight. The first game will be Lexington Catholic, the host team here in the Traditional Bank Classic, and Lex Cath will take on Boyle County. 10-1, outstanding season this far under Steve Adams. Lexington Catholic, of course, coached by Brandon Salzman. Later tonight, Coach Wise and I will bring you the number one team in the state, Louisville Trinity, as they march on in this tournament. They will take on Henderson County. But first things first, Coach, I've been real impressed with Boyle County. Not that I'm not impressed with Catholic, but Boyle County's probably been the darling Cinderella team of this tournament so far.
Well, you know, we were talking about state tournaments earlier in the night, sitting up here watching the previous game with Manual and LCA, and you look over here just to our right, and it looks like a state tournament crowd. Boyle County brought a ton of people. They're excited about their basketball team, as well they should be. It'll be a very interesting matchup tonight because you've got a lot of good players on the perimeter with Bell and Tyler on the for Boyle County, and you got the dangerous three for Catholic with Griffin, Talbot, and Tanner Johnson.
Mm-hmm. You're right. When you look at Hagan Tyler, what makes him so good in your estimation? He's 6'2", he's a senior. He averages 21 points a game.
Well, let me ask you this. We did their game the other night. Do you think he played very well?
Not really, but...
And you look at the stat sheet, and he's 50% from the field, 21 points, handful of rebounds, handful of assists. That's what great players do, is that when you don't really notice them, and then you look at the stat sheet, and he is putting up numbers that you really don't remember, that's a very solid player. What makes him so great, he's just so smooth. He doesn't seem to get sped up. Brian Station will press you as hard as anybody. They'll probably play in the 12th. And he continually made the right decision. Never seemed to get in a hurry. Just a very smooth operator.
Tanner Johnson's the type of player that could, when he's streaky and he's on, look out, he can go for 30, 35. But tonight they're going to have a guy step up like a Jared Griffin, like, as you mentioned, a Michael Talbot, maybe even off the bench like a Agbugu or Donovan Morris. Somebody's got to give them that other scoring, because I'm telling you right now, Boyle County has been playing lights out in this tournament. Yeah, they're solid. You know, Lexington Catholic's three guards, it seems like they've been at Lexington Catholic since about 1970. They seem like they've been here forever. They complement each other so well, because you got Tanner Johnson, who can shoot from 25, 26 feet in the end. Honestly, I've seen him play enough over the last couple years. I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive and not settle for the three as much. And if he ever gets to that point in his game, he will be even harder to guard than he already is. Then you look at Jared Griffin, who is a streaky shooter. He's probably not as pure a shooter as Tanner Johnson, but he's capable of hitting the open shot. He also can get to the basket. And then you put the general out there, Michael Talbot, who just quarterbacks a team, makes the right decision, gets them in what they're supposed to be doing, doesn't make many mistakes, can hit the open jump shot when he needs to. It's unique because, especially nowadays, you know, it's a me society where these guys just kind of feed off each other. And if you haven't seen them play in person, they're actually very fun to watch. And the one guy we haven't talked about much that's really been a big cog for the Rebels, Colton Elkins, a big 6'5" junior, had 3 or 4 monstrous dunks against Brian Station, and I think he's a guy that's going to be a load for Catholic to deal with down low tonight.
That's one of the things that the big question mark with Catholic is what happens since they don't have any, quote, true bigs for the first time in a long time. They've always seemed to have that 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" kid down there that could dominate, score on the post, block shots. Well, now the roles are reversed because Colton Elkins fills that role for Boyle County. And you and I were talking earlier about this as well, is as good as Jeremiah Bell and as good as Hagan Tyler are, they're going to get their 20, 22 a night. Colton Elkins, in my opinion, after just seeing him play once, is a huge key, if not the key, to their team, because if he goes out, their whole dynamic changes. And he dominated until he got in foul trouble. The Bryan Station game had 5 or 6 blocks, had the 4 or 5 dunks that you had mentioned. So, man, what a great matchup! This has February, March feel to it.
It does. And Chapman Bean, the senior for Boyle County, he had 7 first-half points in the game we covered earlier against Bryan Station. Hit a big 3, so he's another cog that is outstanding. And you know what? When you talk about the atmosphere here, you already mentioned it. Boyle County's brought a lot of folks. And really, you just kind of feel it does have kind of a feel of a tournament game in here tonight between Boyle County Catholic, and then Henderson County, one of the favorites out of the second, will take on the number 1 team in the state in Trinity right after this one. Yeah,
if you don't like basketball, you don't need to be here tonight. If you have any kind of basketball in your veins, you need to be here tonight, because I have a feeling you can feel the electricity tonight. 2 big semifinal matchups, exciting stuff. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, I'm glad you're alongside with Tony Wise, the coach at Franklin County, Gary Ball, with William Warfield producing here on PrepSpin. As we said, it's Lexington Catholic and Boyle County, and then it'll be Trinity coming up a little bit later as they will play Henderson County. These are the semifinals, and what a game we had earlier today when Manual held off LCA. But what a game by Matt Rose.
Oh, gosh, great game. For a consolation game, incredible seeing those 2 guys go at it.
Lexington Catholic, as Coach Wise said, led by Talbot, Jared Griffin, and Tanner Johnson. Reese Ryan, also a big cog, and Walker Booth. But we're just about set for the national anthem here at Lexington Catholic. Will step out after this. Great crowd in here tonight for the semifinals of this traditional Bank Holiday Classic at Lexington Catholic 2014 edition. Gary Ball with Tony Wise, William Warfield. We're going to take a look at the starting lineups. Boyle County, they are in the dark uniforms tonight. Visitors on the scoreboard. Lexington Catholic in the white. They are the home team on the scoreboard. Keegan Hinkle will start at a guard, a 6-foot senior. Hagan Tyler at a guard. They really start 3 guards. 6'2" senior. Tyler, by the way, as Tony Wise mentioned, averages 21 points a ball game, and he has not disappointed in this tournament with that 21-point average.
Oh, gosh, no. He's worth the price of admission just himself.
Jeremiah Bell, the 6-foot senior, he averages 21 points a ball game for this 10-1 Boyle County team. And Colton Elkins, the big guy in the middle, averaging nearly a double-double, 6'5" junior. Chapman Bean is the other starter, a 6'2" senior. And Bean, as we said, was a catalyst coming out of the gate for Boyle against Station, knocking down a big 3 and a couple of other field goals in that win over Bryan Station. I tell you what, they beat a really good Bryan Station team. Bryan Station's sitting there with a 10-2 record right now.
Yeah, no question. I think they took the fight to them and got them on their heels and really handled Bryan Station's pressure. And, you know, Bryan Station's shot selection in the first half that we talked about a couple nights ago got them in trouble. And if you're pressing teams, it's hard to press when you can't score.
Michael Talbot will start at the point. He's a 6-foot senior, averaging 10 points a game. Jared Griffin, a 6'2" senior, averaging 14 points a game. Tanner Johnson, the 6'5" senior, he averages 22 points a game. Reese Ryan, the 6'3" senior forward, the quarterback on the football team, and he averages 8 rebounds a game. And the fifth starter, the big guy, if you will, Walker Booth, 6'5" senior. He averages 7 points and 6 rebounds. And coach, it's going to be interesting to see how Walker Booth matches up with the big Elkins kid for Boyle County.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm wondering, I would assume Catholic will come out in man. It's an interesting matchup because you have difficult matchups for both teams. I'm not sure if I'm Catholic who you guard Bell and Tyler with. Then you turn around, well, I'm not sure, either Tyler or Bell's going to have to guard, obviously, Michael Talbot, who can create foul trouble with his drill penetration. So it's interesting to see the X's and O's between the coaches to see if they'll mix the defenses up.
Catholic in the home white and Boyle County in the black. And the Rebels, as we look down, will be going right to left here. Thanks for tuning in tonight here on PrepSpin. Tap is up, and it's controlled. Tanner Johnson comes down with it. Loops it over to Ryan. Strong move to the basket. Elkins comes over and challenges. Walker Booth will stick back. Elkins challenges again and blocks it.
That didn't take long to get his feet in the game.
Here's a Tyler, the three. Off the mark. Rebounded by Ryan. That's what he does so well. Talking about Reese Ryan. Boy, he gets the boards. Across the line, Jared Griffin for the Knights of Lexington Catholic. They come in one of the top teams in the state. Preseason, they were in the top 20, and Boyle County, one of the favorites in the 12th region. What 12th region's loaded this year? 11th always tough. Here's Johnson. Scoop, high off the glass. He saw Elkins coming at him. Elkins challenged it, but Johnson put it higher off the glass and knocked it down.
I mentioned that in the pregame. I like to see Tanner Johnson be more aggressive.
2-0, and here's a Bell's three. Rattles in and out. Tapped around. Walker Booth clears it out. Here comes Michael Talbot for the Knights. Boyle County getting back quickly. Ryan over Elkins. Baseline in and out. There's Walker Booth battling. He sticks it up and in.
Boyle County looks a little tight out here tonight. Catholic has been here, done this, played in front of big crowds, big situations. Boyle County will have to play into the game.
And it is a big crowd tonight, near capacity. Over to Hinkle. Back it goes now to the basket. Off window. Knocked down there by Hagen Tyler.
For those of you all watching, what makes him a great player, if you're a younger player out there watching tonight, he never went the same speed there. He took off. He hesitated to make sure nobody was helping, then exploded and to finish the basket.
And he cuts the lead in half, does Hagen Tyler. 21-point average. It's 4-2. 6:20 to go first quarter. Walker Booth got a stick back on the previous possession. Down low. Johnson turned around. Blocked by Elkins. Johnson gets it back. Battles there with Elkins, and he blocks again. That's 4 blocks for the big fella, Colton Elkins.
He is a game changer.
He's changing it so far. Hinkle comes over now to Tyler, and he misses it in and out. Rebounded by Jared Griffin. Griffin's going to probably try to get into the offense here a little bit more. Goes now to Walker Booth. Goes in on Elkins. He's got his 5th block.
My goodness.
That's 5 blocks for Colton Elkins, the big 6'5" kid. And, Coach, you call him a game changer, and we talked about him in the pregame. We wondered how Catholic would attack this big fella for Boyle, and so far he's swatting him away.
I think you got to go ball screens to get him up away from the basket.
Lob to Elkins, and Tanner Johnson will not allow that dunk and knocked him to the floor. Some contact there, no call.
I think that's a great no call.
Jared Griffin works in, puts it over Hinkle. Elkins challenging that one too. There's Walker Booth, and he put it in. Good job by Booth. I tell you what, though, Colton Elkins challenging every shot that Catholic's taking.
That's going to pay dividends because you don't go in there near as aggressive. You get a couple put back in your face.
6-2. Here comes Boyle County, the Rebels. They kick it to Keegan Hinkle out of the left side. 3, back of the rim, no. Rebound to Talbot.
Boyle County getting good shots.
There's Jared Griffin. He lines up the 3, bullseye. And Boyle County says, I've seen enough. Rebels have seen enough. It's 9-2. I tell you what, if it wasn't for the 5 blocks by Elkins, it'd probably be about 13 or 14-2 right now.
Yeah, no question. He kept them in the game against Bryan Station, helped them get the lead. He's kept them in the game tonight. Interesting how the roles have flipped. Boyle County got out to the early lead against Bryan Station a couple nights ago. Now looking for the 9-2 deficit. If I'm Coach Adams, I'm saying, guys, look, we've broken the pressure. We haven't turned it over. We've had 5, 6 shot opportunities. Every one of them has been a good look at the basket. Those are shots that we normally make.
9-2, Knights on top of the Rebels. And putting it in play is Hinkle. He gives it to Jeremiah Bell. They're trying to get him on track, aren't they? We've only played 3 minutes, and it's 9-2 Knights. Comes over now to Hagen Tyler. Back out to Keegan Hinkle. Now they give it back over to Jeremiah Bell. Swing it around to Chapman Bean. Bean working on Reese. Ryan. Bounce pass, kick there by Ryan. Don't think Reese played soccer, but outstanding football player here, quarterback.
You know what I'd like to see? Booth, Catholic has decided to play behind Elkins. Maybe flash Hagen Tyler high, play a little high-low. I was curious how they guard it because you can't help off on Tyler.
Over goes to Chapman Bean. He fakes. He's open for about 14. Rolls out of there. Good rebound by Tyler. Put it up and in. He's fouled. He will get the soup and the sandwich.
Yeah, that's another good look. Bean just missed it. Great rebound by Tyler. Reese Ryan makes the mistake of jumping before the ball comes off the glass. You got to put a body, let it come off the glass, and go get it. Big-time rebound, though.
Free throw off the mark, and normally an outstanding free throw shooter is Hagen Tyler. He's got all 4 points for Boyle. It's 9-4. Lexington Catholic, of course, we've called many of these battles on the gridiron between these two football teams over the years, and now they're battling it out here in the traditional Bank Holiday Classic. Gary Ball, Tony Wise to the basket. Griffith, right hand, no, there's Walker Booth, but yet Elkins there to clear it out. Now here come running with it is Bell, and he's going to be fouled by Jared Griffin.
That is what Colton Elkins does for you. Griffin had a direct line to the basket, and we had a perfect angle. He veers out to the right to avoid Elkins, shoots it way over the glass. That's what those block shots do.
Chapman Bean has it. Comes over to Hagen Tyler. He's got all 4 Boyle County points. 9-4 Catholic. 4 minutes, 3 seconds to go. First quarter action. Chapman Bean's got it deep on the left side. Free throw line extended. Kicks it back over to Bell. Back it goes to Bean. Bean, little floater, rattles in. Tough shot there for Bean.
He's a first quarter player, isn't he?
He sure is. You know, the kid has got moxie. He's got game. Chapman Bean, senior. Boyle County cuts it to 3, 9-6 after Catholic jumped out 9-2. Tanner Johnson goes in on Elkins and banks it home.
Brought the big man away from the ball with the ball screen, and then Tanner Johnson uses his body to shield Elkins off as he finishes.
Across the line is Bell, double team, triple team, trying to get out of it. Throws it right to Johnson. He leads it out to Jared Griffin. Griffin drives down on Bean, puts it up and in, hits the floor hard. Basket went in for Griffin, and the foul's going to be on Bean. Remember last year, Jared Griffin had a hard fall in the district, broke his wrist,
was there,
and missed the regional game.
Yeah, that was a shame for Catholic. They obviously, when you get hurt that late in the season, somebody that important, it's hard to recover.
13-6, and the southpaw Jared Griffin at the line. He's being recruited by several colleges. As you might well expect, he's an outstanding student in the classroom here at Lexington Catholic, a blue ribbon school. 14-6. Here's Tyler to the basket, and there's going to be a charge call there to take it Walker Booth. Hagen Tyler took the worst of that blunt from Walker Booth. But charge call, that's the toughest call in basketball.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good call, actually.
Yeah. We got a good angle at that from where we are up here in the crow's nest, as I call it. Catbird seat up here with Tony Wise.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
14-6. Catholic led 9-2. Boyle County cut it down to 9-6. Now 5 unanswered by the Knights. Out to Johnson. He's got range from there, and he knocks it down. 7 for TJ. 17-6.
Ooh, that was deep. That was volleyball line.
That was NBA 3. Maybe beyond NBA 3. Here's Jeremiah Bell over to Hagen Tyler. He launches a 3. Bullseye. Hagen Tyler says, you know what, Tanner Johnson, you got range. I got a little range, too, for you. 17-9.
That was challenged, too. What a Catholic, having 3 really good guards, what it does for you, you can spread people out and beat them off the dribble. And on cue, Boyle County goes to a 2-3 zone.
Absolutely.
Seen enough of that attacking the basket.
2:12 to go, first quarter here. Thanks for watching on PrepSpin and HD, high definition. High school basketball. Turn around, Johnson, and scores.
Great little baseline action, screening away from the ball to get Tanner Johnson open. Tanner Johnson off to a torrid start.
9 points. He has single-handedly scored as many as Boyle.
That 1 3 should be worth about 6 points from where he shot it from.
19-9. They gave him an extra one for it, I think. Jeremiah Bell, he's been shut out so far, but that won't last. He's too good, and there's a whistle foul called. As I said, Jeremiah Bell kind of lets the game come to him. He doesn't force anything, and that's exactly what he's doing here in the first 6 minutes plus of this ball game.
Well, Boyle County starts 3 seniors and 2 juniors, so they're an experienced veteran club. I I don't sense any panic whatsoever on their faces. They've gotten, like I said, they've gotten good shots. Lexington Catholic's made about everything they've shot. So just weather the storm. It's their tournament. It's their floor. Basically, you're playing an away game.
That's exactly right. And in the game, just checking in, was Bryce Sloan. He's got the ball on the left side. Sloan came into the game for Chapman Bean. Hagan Tyler gets it over right side to Bell. Bell now brings it back out, and just checking in for Lex Cath is Moores. Here's a three off the iron. No good. Rebounded by Johnson on that three by Tyler.
Tyler seems to be that's his fourth three-point attempt already tonight. I'd like to see him attack the basket a little bit more.
Because, as you mentioned, the speed, ability to change speeds when he drove that one to the basket, laid it in. He's got that ability, obviously. Morris. Donovan looking now to Jared Griffin. A minute to go here in the first period. Johnson thought about that deep three. Works in a little floater. Bullseye. Tanner Johnson has 11 already. It's 21-9. The lead is 11 for Lex Cath.
I think the maturity level in Tanner Johnson, from what I've seen so far, last year he would have forced that three up. This year he's getting his way to the basket.
Keegan Hinkle gets it back now, back over to Bryce Sloan. Over to Hagan Tyler, right side free throw line extended. 34 seconds. Wide open, catches it, puts it up. No, as Bryce Sloan couldn't finish on the lob. Jared Griffin now with 21 seconds. His ball club up 12. Catholic's going to be patient. They may take the last shot here in this quarter, Coach.
I would, for sure.
That's Donovan Morris, outstanding receiver on the football team. Over to Agbugu. J.J. Agbugu back now to Morris. Back over to Agbugu. Long three. Rattles it in. 24-9. Here's a shot, and it's off the mark. And boy, Catholic up 15 here. Looking impressive. Leading Boyle County 24-9 behind Tanner Johnson with 11 first quarter points. And we'll return here on PrepSpin for second quarter action with Lexington Catholic 24, Boyle County 9.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter. Locally owned and operated since 1972.
Welcome back to the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic 2014. Gary Ball, Tony Wise, coach at Franklin County, William Warfield, our producer here on PrepSpin, 24-9. And, Coach, that was all Lexington Catholic. Tanner Johnson outscored Boyle himself 11-9 in that quarter.
Yeah, he's put on quite a show. It's a matter of making and missing shots. You know, it looks like Lexington Catholic is dominating, but they've made 70% of their shots without looking at stats. But before we get them, Boyle County can't be making 25% of the shots, and they've had good looks. So
Jeremiah Bell, strong move to the basket, and the call was going to go. Jump ball was called, so they said he was tied up there. And Bell with a strong move. He's going to probably try to assert himself here in the second quarter. Jeremiah Bell, the senior.
You know, with Lexington Catholic's lineup, I would maybe look at posting Tyler or Bell up, because Lexington Catholic has their small guard lineup in.
Donovan Morris. Tanner Johnson, step back three, off the mark. Rebounded Agbugu. Agbugu throws it right to Boyle County, right to Bryce Sloan. Sloan in the middle, goes to Elkins. Elkins, power move, foul there by Walker Booth. That's probably not a good, a bad game strategy there to start getting it inside the big Elkins, 6'5", 6'6" kid for Boyle, and draw some fouls. That time they were able to draw one on Peter Whitman, his first foul. Pete just checked into the game for Catholic.
I would say if there any issue with Boyle County so far, settling for way too much jump shots, kind of like Bryan Station did the other night. I like to see them, like you said, get to the basket, get the ball into the big fella.
And the big fella knocks down the second free throw. Colton Elkins, 6'6" junior, 24-10. Lexington Catholic by 14. That's Michael Talbot. Across the line, working on Jeremiah Bell as we start the second quarter. Talbot into the lane, little scoop shot, and somehow he circused it in. Man.
Just a solid high school point guard.
Hagan Tyler, deep one, drives in, kicks it over to Sloan, goes back to Bell, 15-footer by Jeremiah, back of the rim, no. Rebounded by Lexington's Donovan Morris. Morris, a running back receiver on the Knights football team for Coach Mark Perry. J.J. Ogbugu, one of the top receivers. Talbot works into the lane, throws it up, and draws the contact of the foul. Is going to be called on Boyle County, and it's going to go on Jeremiah Bell.
I know they've already used one timeout. I might be looking at burning another one here. Just got the Boyle County, first time I've seen some frustration, some disgust on their face. Bell complaining on that foul call. Maybe just take a full timeout, settle them down. Plenty of basketball left.
Tanner Johnson, a three, good. 14 for Tanner Johnson. The lead is 19, 29-10. Boy, I would not have guessed this score anyway. 19-point spread already for the Knights. Hagan Tyler for Boyle into the paint. Step back 18-footer. Rattles out of there. Whitman battling, but Sloan hustles out of there with it. Sloan down the lane. He palmed the basketball.
He sure did. That's a good call. It's like I think he wanted to pass it to the corner. Catholic defender jumped out, so he just kept it with him.
Peter Whitman out, and let's see who Lex Cath gets in. They'll keep Whitman in. It's Johnson, Ogbugu, Morris, Talbot, and Tanner Johnson, Peter Whitman. Boyle going with Bells. They've got Bryce Sloan, Colton Elkins, Hagan Tyler. Here's a long three, but Johnson knocked it down again. That is 17 for Tanner Johnson. He's shooting them from the LC out in the middle of the court. 32-10. Boyle County right now trying to take it. Bell, good dump over the right. Elkins, and a block from behind by J.J. Ogbugu.
It's funny when some shots go in, how much energy you have on the other end of the floor. Boyle County make a couple shots, cut this thing under 15 before the half. They'll be fine.
I've got Tanner Johnson on my sheet. Here's Keegan Hinkle, three. Got it. Big shot there. Excuse me, that's Chapman Bean. Excuse me, Bean. Back in there. Chapman Bean with the three. 32-13. That was huge.
It was huge.
Kind of stopped the bleeding a little bit. Tanner Johnson gets a pick. He's got 17 points.
He'll shoot it.
Looking for 20, and that's off the mark and rebounded by Hagan Tyler. Tyler now pushing it down the middle of the floor, being cut off by Morris. Bean goes over to Sloan. Sloan over Johnson. That's off the mark, rebounded by Whitman. Whitman clear out, knocked away. Good hustle there by Bean. They give it to Bean, right sidelines, up the three. No good. Tapped around and getting a hand on the basketball was Bryce Sloan, but coming out of there with it, Peter Whitman. And Coach Salzman quickly wants to get Jared Griffin back in the ball game, along with Reese Ryan. 4:45. Tanner Johnson may need a blow, it looks like. Looks like he's pretty tired out there.
He's earned one.
Talbot, a little floater, no. Tapped up by Ogbugu, and can't get it, but brings it back out of there. And it's going to be a whistle foul on Tyler's who worked there. That's going to be two on Hagan. That's two on Hagan.
I thought Boyle County did a great job the other night of controlling tempo. Tonight it is up and down. Catholic, when they get into the half court, controls the pace with the guard play. In the full court, you don't want to run with Lexington Catholic. I don't think that's Boyle County's MO when when push comes to shove, because they're so good in the half court. So let's see if they can grind out some possessions and get some scores.
Even though Tanner Johnson's got, here's a backdoor to Ryan, blocked by Elkins again. I think Elkins got at least 6 blocks now, right? He had 5 prior to. Here's Hagan Tyler, 3 short.
No need to take that shot. Go to the basket.
Rebounded by Reese Ryan.
Elkins wasn't even in position and made the block.
Donovan Morris hands it back to Talbot. 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go, and Lex Cath behind Tanner Johnson with 17. They lead Boyle 32-13. Gary Ball with Tony Wise and William Warfield here on PrepSpin. Talbot down the lane. Elkins comes up, challenges, and shot won't go. Rebounded, stuck back by Booth. Good.
What I've noticed right there is that when Elkins comes over, Boyle County has to know he's coming over. The weak side forward, the weak side guard in that case was Bean. You've got to rotate down and block out Elkins' man, which is Booth. And Booth and Whitman both have played great tonight, giving them great minutes.
Coach, I agree with you. Catholic's got to be shooting about 70%. Down the lane, Bell with the scoop and the score. Nice job.
That is his game right there. Haven't seen when he decides to get to the rim, I haven't seen anybody stop him yet.
I think Boyle, even though they're down 19, they're thinking if we can get this down to a workable margin in the second half, we can fight and get back in this thing. They're down 19. Morris backdoor, Booth, and it was kicked there, I believe, by a Boyle player. They're going to give it back to Catholic. The Knights and the Rebels.
I didn't think he'd stay on the bench very long.
I tell you what the point I was going to make, even though he had 17 points, he took that one shot that they did. The bench didn't like, and they let him know about it when he came over to the bench.
Well, and that's kind of the old Tanner Johnson. That when he makes 2 or 3, it seems like he scoots back. What you need to realize, and I'm sure when he gets to the next level, he will definitely be told, when they push out on you, that is when you get to the basket.
Right side, Hagen Tyler. 3 won't go. There's Sloan battling, but Jared Griffith pulls it out of there for Lexcat. 2:44. It's all Knights. 36-15 over this 10-1 Boyle County team out of the 12th region.
Hagen Tyler's 6th 3-point attempt tonight. I don't think he took 2 or 3 the other night.
Talbot over to Jared Griffin. He thought about it on Bell. Spin move. Griffin kicks it back Ryan. They swing it over to Talbot. Back to Reese Ryan. R squared. Back to Griffin. Long 3 by Jared. Bullseye. That's 9 for Griffin now. The lead is ballooned up to 39-15. Hagen Tyler, strong move to the basket, scoops it up, rolls out, tapped around. Tyler gets it back and puts it home.
Every time they've gone to the basket, something usually good happens.
That's 9 for Hagen Tyler, averaging 21, 39-17. What's Coach Salzman fired up about?
He's always fired up. You got to love his energy.
I know it. He's fired. Back door goes. Johnson blocked by Elkins again. Another block by Colton Elkins.
What's the tournament record? Because he has to be getting there already.
I've got him with 7 blocks.
I have him with 7.
That's if they are keeping that statistic. A lot of times the block shots is not a correct score. You know, they don't keep that as well as they should. I think on block shots they miss a lot of them.
I agree.
I mean, you got to get the points if somebody just scored, but you don't always get the block shot. Here's Bell, a 3, and that's back of the rim, though. Might have been over the back, and that's 3 on Hagen Tyler.
He has not looked in sync all night. I think he has settled too much for his jump shot. I think he's gotten frustrated by not knocking those down. Now, Coach Adams a little slow getting the sub in. I don't care who Hagen Tyler's guarding. I'm gonna flatten out. Even if it's Reese Ryan, who's not a great offensive player, I'm giving it to him to see if we can get that 4th foul on him.
Yep. Talbot, he looks right for Ryan. Is that heads-up basketball or what? Johnson's got it. He thought about the 3. Goes in on Elkins. Off window, no. Whistle, foul called. I think Sloan picked it up. And that is going to be the 17th foul. So it will be bonus for Tanner Johnson.
Tanner Johnson at the line for 2.
Tanner Johnson missed the free throw. TJ, a 6'5 senior. And Coach, if I'm not mistaken, Tanner Johnson is not committed to a college yet, or has he?
Not to my knowledge. He, if he develops that mid-range game and takes people off the dribble, his stock will rise before the season's out.
He's got a terrific ball game working here. I show him with 18 points, 40-17. Knights by 23, leading this good Boyle County team. Keegan Hinkle in trouble there. Hinkle, and we're going to have a reach, and that's a good call there. Talbot a little bit overzealous.
You know, Lexington Catholic only has 5 team fouls, and I think that's a product of Boyle County shooting too many jump shots.
We're in the last minute of the first half. Jeremiah Bell penetrating and throws it up off the mark. Elkins in there battling is Zach Lay. Ball won't go, knocked out, and last touch, they say, by Boyle. Zach Lay came in to give Colton Elkins a breather. I guess when you block 7 shots, you deserve a little time on at least a little respite.
Just think if he wasn't in the game, how bad the score would be. He's probably saved 10 points by himself right at the basket.
30 seconds here in the first half. Coming up, Trinity will take on Henderson County. We'll have that game for you as well here on Prep. Talbot falls to the floor, picked up there by Bean. And we're going to have a whistle, and it's going to go on Keegan Hinkle.
This is going to be interesting. I watched the whole thing there. This has to be a double technical foul. Anything else is the wrong call. They both were going at it.
And that's what Coach Adams is saying.
No. Hinkle was on top of Talbot. Talbot was trying to get off and gets off, and as he gets off, Talbot pushes, kicks, gets him off of him.
Yeah.
Do I think that Hinkle could have gotten off of him quicker? Absolutely. At the same time, there was equal fault right there. That should have been at minimum a double technical foul.
I would concur. 19 seconds. Talbot missed the first free throw, second one, and he missed them both. And there's an old saying in basketball.
Ball don't lie.
You know it. You're a coach.
Yeah, I wish we'd have had a little some of that today in our tournament game.
Did the ball lie a lot today in your game?
No, it actually went in. Not supposed to go in there.
Gotcha. 17 seconds here, and here comes Talbot across the line for the Knights, and he's going to be bumped, and the foul's going to go on Chapman Bean. They called a clear out there.
That is the epitome of a makeup call. And as bad as the other call was, that was probably just as bad.
So you didn't like that one either?
Well, I do think he pushed off, but at the same time, when you follow up a scrum, it just looks bad.
Down to 10 seconds. Let's see what Bell does here. Remember, Hagen Tyler's out with his third foul, and big fellow Elkins on the bench as well. Bell, spin move. Nice, great spin move. Off glass, rolls out. Rebounded by Johnson, and that's going to do it for the first half. And what a great half of basketball for Lexington Catholic. They lead this good 10-1 Boyle County team 40-17 here at halftime. And Coach Wise, I tell you what, I agree with you. A little bit too much settling for jump shots by Boyle. They kind of dug themselves in a hole there.
Well, they got good looks, but at the same time, there comes a point in time where, okay, they're not falling. Let's get to the free throw line. Let's create, because Lexington Catholic, as good as their first 5 or 6, 7 kids are, when you get to 8 or 9, there's a little bit of a fall off, as there usually is with high school teams.
Right.
So be a little more aggressive. Talbot now has 2 fouls. Be more aggressive. The only way you're going to catch up, unless you just catch fire from three-point land, and through a game and a half, I would not call Boyle County a great three-point shooting team, because Barrett Bell and Tyler are so good about getting to the basket, but you've got to lengthen the game now. You've got to get to the free throw line. I would be on full attack mode. Now, if you get an inside-out 3, great, but you got to go in attack mode, because with Talbot out, Lexington Catholic is a totally different team.
It is 40-17. Lexington Catholic at their halftime, leading Boyle County, and we will come back here on PrepSpin and have a second half action and some stats for you. 40-17. The lead is for the Knights of Lexington Catholic, leading Boyle County. And welcome back here to halftime. Gary Ball with Tony Wise. And let's take a look, Coach. You've got those stats right there in front of you. Of course, the big number, Tanner Johnson pumped in 20 points. And the official stats have Colton Elkins with 6, but you and I've got him with 7 block shots.
Either way, what a terrific half of basketball for Colton Elkins. Just as we suspected, Boyle County 7 of 26 from the field, 12 3-point shots, and Lexington Catholic is playing man-to-man. Now, the problem with that, as we talked in the pregame, there are matchup problems on both sides of the ball. Lexington Catholic so far has done a much better job of exploiting those. Boyle County, post the guards up, set a high ball screen, get them some space, attack the bigs down there, because Griffin and Talbot, as good as they are not big, and you have Talbot on Tyler. So post him up. Let's get him the ball in different areas and see if he can create different space. But now he's got 3 fouls.
Yep.
So you're kind of limited on what you can do at this point.
But Hagan Tyler is similar in some respects to Tanner Johnson. Once he starts knocking down threes, he does it in bunches. I realize, Chuck, you said he has 3 fouls, but he's the type of kid. But I think they've got to get the ball into Elkins a little bit more in the second half, see what he can do offensively. He's got some skills. We saw him with 4 just monstrous dunks against Bryan Station. And also, I think Jeremiah Bell's got to take it to the rack, especially with Talbot with 2 fouls.
Well, what they've done a good job of, Lexington Catholic, is they get off the help so well. And so you got to have some ball movement, then set him a ball screen to get the defense moving in a different direction. Now you've got people moving instead of just going one-on-one. Everybody can pinch down and cut the middle off, which Lexington Catholic's done a great job of. So, like I said, I would like to see, if I'm Coach Adams, I'm telling the team, look, they came out, they punked us, they really threw a couple haymakers. Now, we talk about how good we are, we talk about being a 12th region favorite. Let's go see, and let's see if we can win this quarter.
Yep.
Let's knock the lead in half and give ourselves a chance. Now, the way we're going to do that is we're going to attack the basket. If you get an inside-outside 3, great. Otherwise, I want the basket attack. Let's try to shoot 20 to 25 free throws this half.
I like the pep talk. I'm ready to put on my uniform, go out there and back to my having a Boone County moment here. But I'm ready to go out there and play some basketball now, Coach, with that halftime speech.
How many minutes can we get out of you in the second half?
I don't know, Coach. That's debatable. I don't know about minutes, maybe seconds. How many seconds can you get out of me?
If we get you open, can you knock it down?
I can still shoot it a little bit,
okay.
But you got to get me open, though.
We'll get you open, call timeout, get somebody in for defense.
You guys set some really good picks, okay? We're set for second half action. It'll be Tyler Bell. This is for Boyle, Keegan Hinkle, Colton Elkins, and also Chapman Bean. And Boyle will have the basketball, and with it is Chapman Bean open from 15, and he rattles it in. Good start.
Great start.
Chapman Bean with the nice jumper on the right elbow, and it's 40-19. 7:42 in the third. Talbot with 2 fouls, comes over to Booth, left side free throw line extended. Walker wanting to hand it back to Talbot. Good defense by Bell, though. Boy, he's all over Talbot, isn't he?
He sure is. That's a switch they've made at halftime. Make him work a little harder to get the basketball.
Jared Griffith has Keegan Hinkle, the big defensive stopper on him. Bounce pass over to Ryan. Here's Tanner Johnson, and he knocks it down. Johnson, as they say, Coach, he is in fuego. He's on fire.
He doesn't need hardly any space to get that shot off.
23 for TJ, Tanner Johnson. 23 points. As we said in the pregame, young man's capable of 35, 40 points. He's done it a number of times in his career. Down the lane, Keegan Hinkle, off glass, no, tapped around. Tanner Johnson with the rebound. So you get the jumper down here by Bean, and then back comes Johnson with a deep 3. You can't exchange baskets with a team you're down by 23 to, now 24. Reaching foul is going to be called against Boyle, and it's going to go against Keegan Hinkle.
I would focus on let's see if we can get back-to-back stops. I don't think Boyle County has had back-to-back stops all night. Let's see if we can get 2 and see if we can build on it from there.
And what did Catholic shoot in that first half on your stat sheet there? What was their percentage?
51.6, but they were 6 of 8 from 3.
6 of 8 behind the line and make that 7 of 9 as Johnson's knocked down a 3 here already, right? Or 7 of 10, excuse me.
Correct.
Griffin has it blocked by Elkins, and that's number 7 on the block shot category. Here's Bell to the basket, scoop and good.
That is Jeremiah Bell's game to a T. Great block, great transition basket. by Bell.
Bell, that's 4 points for Bell. 43-21. 6:09 in the third. Trinity Henderson County right after this one. Pass goes to Booth, back over to Griffin. Jared launches it, back of the rim, no. Tapped out, Ryan taps it right to Talbot.
He's so athletic. He is just so athletic. He just went over Hagen Tyler to get the ball.
Jared Griffin, a deep three, whistle, and a
That's
foul.
an illegal screen.
Clear out, a clear out by Walker Booth.
He had Griffin open, and Hinkle tried to get around him. He slid over to the illegal screen.
That's 2 on Booth. First team foul against the Knights here in the second half with 5:45 to play. They lead Boyle 43-21. Boyle County knocked off Bryan Station. They have knocked off some really good teams in this tournament.
Just kind of got shell-shocked by Catholic's onslaught at the beginning.
Hagen Tyler swings it over to Chapman Bean. Bean back out now to Hinkle, launches a three, got it.
This Boyle County crowd is ready to erupt.
They're ready to get
7-8-0 run will get them going.
And I tell you what, these two teams have had some battles on the football field, and these Boyle County fans fired up right now. And we got a good crowd in here, super crowd, electric crowd. Johnson has it stripped away, picked up by Elkins. Good hands there by Boyle County's Chapman Bean. He stripped it out of there, and Elkins picked it up. There's Bell crossing over, showing his handles, and he's got some handles. Over to Hagen Tyler, and Reese Ryan out on him because Tyler can hit it from there. Swing it around to Keegan Hinkle. Down low it goes. Turn around. Hook shot off the mark. No good. Tapped up. No. And coming down with it, Catholic, and that's Jared Griffin. Over to Reese Ryan. Back to Griffin. Jared Griffin with 4.5 to go in the third. Kicks it over to Talbot.
You know, I like the idea of Boyle County going down low to Tyler, but you got to get a better shot off than that. Attack the basket.
Walker Booth reverses it up and in. Booth with 8 points. He's got some nice moves around the basket, Walker Booth does.
He's played solid, and his backup Whitman has they've both played solid.
Yep. 45-24. Knights by 21, 4:08 in the third. Gary Ball, Tony Wise, and William Warfield here on PrepSpin and HD. Thanks for watching tonight. Here's a shot by Hingle, and he draws the foul there on Griffin. Good job by Chapman Bean. She took it to the basket. Foul went on Griffin.
Attack the basket, you get fouls called.
So that will send Chapman Bean to the line. He's got 7 points. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. Chapman missed the first one. It'll be Trinity and Henderson County after this one tonight. Finals are tomorrow night at 7 here at the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic at Lexington Catholic. Second one rattles in for Bean. That's 8 for Chapman Bean. It is now 45-25. Lexington Catholic by 20 with under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Talbot kicks it over to Jared. Griffin gets a pick from Booth, slides in the middle. Here's a jumper by Griffin, and he knocks it down.
Elkins came out to challenge. Great jump shot there by Jared Griffin.
That's double figures now for Jared Griffin. Lead back to 22 for the Knights. Jeremiah Bell telling Hagen Tyler to clear out, going down low to Elkins. Elkins double team. Johnson comes over to help. Elkins hooks it up, rattles it in. It's good. He will get the soup and the sandwich. Well, maybe he'll get the sandwich. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll order something else.
Either way, really solid post move by Elkins.
Colton Elkins. And the basket does count. I don't know what he hooked it up and in. So Colton Elkins, big 6'5", 6'6" junior. He's got to be a guy that'll be touted as a player of the year next year in the 12th, right? No question.
Absolutely.
Looked pretty on the free throws, got good form and knocked it down. So three-point play the old-fashioned way, and it's 47-28. You would think if Boyle could get this down to maybe 10 or 12 points before the final quarter, they'd have a shot. Right now they got it down to 19.
Knocking a little bit off the lead, just not near enough and fast enough.
Yep. Tanner Johnson back to Ryan, left elbow, kicks it to Griffin, back over to Talbot. Talbot scoops it back to Griffin, long three, back of the rim, no. Rebounded by Jeremiah Bell. Here's Bell, but Catholic getting back defensively. Bell turns around, wide open from three, launches, bullseye.
Starting to find a little bit of offensive rhythm here, Boyle County.
47-31. That's what they need, isn't it, Coach?
They've almost matched their first half total in the first 5.5 minutes.
Ryan to Johnson, little finger roll, no.
That's
Tanner,
a push-off.
He pushed off there on Elkins. Yep, good call, pushed him from the back. Well, we had a really good angle at that one, didn't we?
Yeah, that was easy call. Tanner Johnson, I think, wanted to attack the basket, looked up and saw Elkins and kind of got in between and settled for the floater.
Looked up and saw it was 7 block shots. He goes, man, that kid can block shots. Maybe I better rethink this. 2:29 to go in the third, 47-31. Little mini run here by the Rebels of Boyle County. And they're being led by a couple of folks, really. Chapman Bean, and three-point play by Elkins, a three-pointer by Hinkle. And Jeremiah Bell has pumped in 5 points here in the quarter. So it's been a good mixture of players for Boyle County to spread the wealth.
And that's what Boyle County does. They've had a couple extra jump shots to go. But at the same time, with 1:45 to go in the first half, Lexington Catholic only had 4 team fouls. They already have 4 team fouls, and there's still 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Keep attacking the basket, get to the bonus, get to that double bonus.
As I said, coming up after this one, it'll be Trinity and Henderson County. Coach Tony Wise will join me for that one as well. Coach, what do you think about Trinity, Henderson County? Does Henderson have the guards to play with Trinity?
Well, yes. At the same time, when you come out and play a team like Trinity or a Scott County Catholic, you got to get over the name on the jersey. Just go play.
Hagan Tyler, strong move. Nice move by Tyler.
Attacking the basket. I love it.
Double figures for Tyler. 47-33. I said get it down to 10 or 12. They've already got it down to 14. Here's Griffin. Over to Ryan. Reese, R squared. Kicks it out to Johnson. A long three. In and out. Rolls off there. There's Elkins tapping it to Tyler.
Great job by Elkins to get the rebound. He was out of position but went over top of Booth to get it.
Bell kicks it in the corner. Here's Chapman Bean. Knocks it down.
Lexington Catholic has turned down the defensive intensity, and Boyle County's taking it to them.
And Chapman Bean knocked down a big three to cut it down to 11, 47-36.
It's an 11-0 run, Gary.
And remember, Catholic led by as many as 24 points.
It was 47-25.
Points, yeah. Led 40-17 at halftime.
They were up 24, but Boyle County's on an 11-0 run.
Yep, 11-0 run by the Rebels, and almost a steal by Elkins, and it's going to be
That's another good call.
I think they called it on Booth.
Elkins knocks the ball free from Booth, and in the mad scramble for it, Booth reached out and grabbed Elkins. Jeremiah Bell, great coaching move by Coach Adams by putting Jeremiah Bell and Michael Talbot to keep him out of the lane. And he does not have the ball as a facilitator, so Lexington Catholic's offense has struggled.
And, Coach, just watching the body language of these Boyle players out on the floor, they're a totally different basketball team.
No question.
There's some pep in their step, so to speak.
That's a great point. And give Boyle County credit. They started picking up full court, giving them some pressure.
Minute 16, here come the Rebels. They were down 24. Bell has led the charge along with Tyler. Also Chapman Bean. He goes down low to Elkins. Elkins works in on Whitman. Falling down, travel call as Elkins hit the floor. Contact there with Peter Whitman, and they're going to give it to Catholic on the turnover.
I think Whitman flopped a little bit. In doing so, Elkins steps on his foot and tweaks his ankle a little bit, got him off balance. Another good call, in my opinion.
Chapman Bean, who's played so well out. Bryce Sloan back in for Boyle.
Now they've got Jeremiah Bell on Tanner Johnson.
Johnson cut off by Sloan. Out top he comes now to Donovan Morrison. J.J. Agbugu, those outstanding football receivers, they're both back in there. That's Donovan Morris pounding it down with 50 seconds. And his Knights leading 47-36 over Boyle. Talbot cut off by Bell. Into the lane, and there's going to be a grab called on Jeremiah Bell. And these Boyle County fans are really, they ratchet up the intensity from the fans.
I think at halftime kind of got them juiced up over here.
With the near
riot
WWF we had right below us here. Talbot going baseline, cut off, throws it up.
Great defense by Jeremiah Bell.
Bell clears it out to Tyler. Hagan loses the handle on it, picked up by Elkins, kicks it over now, right side to the basket, blocked away there by Whitman on the shot attempt by Sloan. Well, that was a big possession for Boyle. They could have cut it to single digits. Still 11-point lead for Catholic with 12 seconds to go here in the third. But I tell you, Boyle's got all the momentum here right now. Talbot And there's going to be a reaching foul, and I think that's going to go on Hinkle.
Yep, good
That'll
call.
be his third.
Well, this is a big stop for Boyle. They've done such a marvelous job of getting back into the game. Lexington Catholic with the ball, 8 seconds to go, and they get the ball to start the fourth quarter.
Gary Ball with Tony Wise, Franklin County head basketball coach. William Moorfield here on PrepSpin. Good ball game brewing here with Boyle County and Catholic. Loud down low. Johnson catches and finishes.
Oh, it's a foul. Oh, my goodness.
Bell thought he was fouled on that three-quarter court shot. No call.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Coach.
I just thought it might have been a little bit after the horn, but I'm not sure what he was doing. He tackled him.
49-36. Catholic lead 13. We'll return here on PrepSpin, produced by William Moorfield, with the fourth quarter action here from the dungeon at Lexington Catholic Buter Gymnasium. We'll return.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's been my dream come true to be your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I view the people of Western Kentucky as our family. So TJ and I have chosen this time and this place to say to all of you, I will be a candidate for governor in 2015. We will start the journey to make Kentucky proud again. Thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth.
To 9, they outscored Catholic in that quarter to get back in it. It's 49-36. Knights will have the ball to start the fourth quarter. Gary Ball, Tony Wise, and that's Talbot. Michael Talbot, of course, son of Tony Talbot. He was a great player in his own right, too. To the basket, Johnson, and flips it up. Whistle foul called on the move by Johnson, and they called that one on Hinkle. That's 4 on Keegan Hinkle. I thought it was going to be on Sloan. 7:44 to go in this one. Trinity and Henderson County will come up 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Johnson missed the free throw.
Tanner Johnson's dad, decent little player in his day, huh?
Yes.
Man, he was fun to watch.
A lot of father-son combos here. Johnson. Tanner knocked it down. And 50, and there's a grab, but it goes on Catholic's Donovan Morris. Morris picked it up. That's his first. Team 6 foul. 50-36. Lex Catholic led by 24, but Boyle had it down to 11 and actually had the ball chance to get to single digits.
Sure did.
Bell's been outstanding. He's got the basketball. Ryan Bell down the lane on Johnson, and the roll up and in. I mentioned he's been outstanding. He's got 8 points here in the second half. He's got double digits now. 50-38. 7:29 to play, and Boyle County has it down to a dozen. Left side, Tanner Johnson. He's been the shooting star. Lines up the 3, and he's a little bit off, and he made everything in the first half, Coach.
Defense is a little bit better at this moment. Taking a few more challenge shots. Tanner Johnson has to realize that. Start attacking the basket.
Chapman Bean, who hit a big 3 there in that third quarter, is back in there. And Bryce Sloan over to Tyler. Back out to Sloan. Thought about it. Down the lane. Kicks it out to Tyler. Knocked away. And Jeremiah Bell picks it back up there.
That's who needs the ball right there.
Bell
can't stop him.
With the left hand. Missed the layup. Had a layup and missed it.
They haven't guarded him yet this half. I would keep the ball in his hands.
Boy, he just put his hands on his head after that rolled off. He knew that was a really good opportunity to cut it down to 10. 50-38. Knights. They led 40-17 at halftime. 6:32 to play here at the Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic. Little floater by Talbot. No. Rebounded by Jeremiah Bell. Bell to Tyler. Long 3. Got it! It's a dozen for 14 checking for Tyler, and it's a 50-41 lead for Catholic. They led by 24, but Boyle County has battled back and showed a lot of great team chemistry here in the second half, led by Jeremiah Bell, and then Hagan Tyler, the superstar, knocks down the deep three, and we got a 9-point ball game here. Coach Tony Wise of Franklin County, and it was a 24-point spread for Lexington Catholic.
With a late 11-0 run by Boyle County to cut it to 47-36, Catholic takes advantage of having back-to-back possessions, scoring 3 points to go up 14. And to think, with a Jeremiah Bell layup, a Hagan Tyler 3 now to cut it to 9, and that was sandwiched, the missed layup by Bell sandwiched in between those two buckets. To be honest with you, I'm not, unless Boyle County's kids are a little bit gassed, I'm not real sure about the timeout there. Have all the momentum, you have it under 10 points. So we'll see if that was just a get my kids some rest timeout. But I really feel like Boyle County's ready to make a run. Catholic looks out of sync offensively. Jeremiah Bell doing a great job on Talbot, making him work a lot harder than he had to in the first half. Catholic now kind of going to Boyle County's selling for jump shots. And
Tony, there's a lot of time left in this game. 6 minutes
and
16 seconds.
Yes. We could have all kinds of runs here.
Boyle's right back in it. They've cut it to 9 after Lex Cath led by 24. 6:10 to play. There's Jared Griffin. Boy, his dad was an outstanding player too, I understand. Now comes over to Walker Booth. To Reese Ryan out top of the circle. Lobs down to Johnson. There's going to be a grab there on Boyle. And that's going to go on Chapman Bean.
What Brandon Salzman did, he did this at the end of the third quarter. He is bringing Booth away from the basket. I'm keeping Elkins in the lane. I wouldn't even guard Booth, but he's isolating Tanner Johnson on the block. 5
team fouls now against Boyle, 6 against Catholic here. There's Johnson open from 3. Got it.
Sloan got caught up in the screen there instead of chasing him over the top. Actually ran right through the screen.
Well, after keeping score at home with that 3, that's 31 now for Johnson. He had 20 at halftime. Lead back to 12. Ryan taps it into Johnson. He leads it out to Griffin. Here's that run you were talking about. Jared fouled hard by Sloan. Jared Griffin fouled hard, and Sloan was not going to let him have an easy bucket. Hard foul there.
That was great hustle. I had no problem with that foul. You can't let him. He went for the ball, got ball, but did get some arm. Real sloppy play by Bean down there. Try to throw an over-the-top pass over Reese Ryan. He's way too athletic to try to make that pass.
Jared Griffin, a good free throw shooter, and he knocks it down. Griffin now with 12 points.
Ever since the Boyle County timeout, a small 4-0 run here by Lexington Catholic when they had all the momentum.
Yep. Jared Griffin second, rolls out of there. Griffin hits the floor hard and rebounded by Hagan Tyler. Here comes Bell. Bell to Tyler, long 3. Off the iron, no. Rebounded by Walker Booth. Booth clears it out to Ryan. Reese lobs it back to Johnson. Here's a little floater by Tanner. Rolls in there. Johnson with 33 now.
Does Reese Ryan know where? Does he not know where the ball needs to go? He is a quarterback on the basketball
absolutely.
floor too. Get it to the playmakers.
56-41. Catholic back by 15. There's Bell to the basket, draws the foul. Jeremiah Bell's just taking it to the basket at the wheel. I
mean, you got to put the ball in his hands. The other night, Hagan Tyler kind of took over. Bell's got it going. You got to give him the ball.
Peter Whitman and Walker Booth out. Earlier today, DuPont Manual held on and beat LCA.
Good game. Real good game.
Free throw knocked down by Bell.
Matt Rose, great player, had the ball with under 5 seconds to go and passed it off to a teammate.
Bell made 1 of 2, 56-42. Knights by 14. They've led by as many as 24. We got 5 minutes to go in this one. We got Trinity Henderson coming up next, and that foul's going to be on Bell. That's 3 on Bell, and both teams in the bonus now. That will send Michael Talbot. Talbot has been starting since his sophomore year. A lot of these seniors have been starting since they were sophomores. Brandon Salzman really talking about this great senior class he's got.
They have been through the wars, that's for sure.
Talbot got the first one. Michael, the senior. Griffin's a senior. Matter of fact, all 5 starters for Catholic are seniors. Knocked down by Talbot. Lead is ballooned back out to 16 after Boyle had it down to 9, 50-41. It's been an 8-1 run since
Boyle County's timeout.
Bell down the lane and blocked away by Whitman. Picked up by Johnson. Good block by Whitman. Tanner over to Jared Griffin. A long three by Griffin. In and out. Rebounded by Whitman. Back to Griffin. He'll say, I'll take it again. I'll hit it this time. Peter Whitman just kept feeding him, didn't he?
And Whitman and Booth both have, the Achilles heel going into the season was what we're going to get from our bigs from Lexington Catholic. Well, tonight they have gotten quality minutes.
Trying to go to Hagan Tyler. He goes in on Whitman. A little floater. Got it. Somehow it went for Tyler falling down, and he drew the foul. I think it went on Whitman. They called it on Peter Whitman.
Down the basket by Tyler. The foul on number 41, Whitman, is second.
That's 2 on Whitman. Tyler now with 16, averages 21, missed the free throw, and we're going to have a whistle foul called. 4:14 to play here. Been an interesting ball game, hasn't it?
It's been about 5 or 6 different ball games within the ball game.
That's what I mean. It's been games within a game within a game. Catholic dominated the first half. Boyle dominated the third quarter, 19-9. And now it's 61-44, and Catholic trying to extend that lead with Reese Ryan at the line, and Ryan's free throw is good. Not sure where Reese is going to play football. Nobody seems to know. I don't think his parents even know yet where he's going to play his college football, but he definitely will play some college football. He's really good.
He is a perfect piece for this team. He knows who needs to get the basketball. He's going to rebound. He's going to defend. He doesn't look to score very often. Makes a steal there. I mean, he is a perfect complement on this Lexington Catholic team.
Boyle and Catholic battle on the football field. Catholic got them twice there, trying to get them here in basketball. Then Catholic went on to lose to Fort Thomas Highlands, the 4A state champions. I know a lot of folks are glad Highlands is getting out of 4A. They're moving up to 5A. Griffin, a long three, no good, and Boyle and Catholic dropping down to 3A football this next season.
Not sure about that shot. You had a chance to put them away.
Bean's shot won't go, tapped around and picked up by Griffin. Down to 3:34 to play.
But that's how Catholic plays. They're going to shoot the threes, and those what a pass.
To Ryan, he lays it in. Reese Ryan. Griffin with the assist out front. And now the lead back to 21 after Boyle had it down to 9. You called it, Coach. You said a game of runs, and that's what it's been. Run by Boyle in the third, or run by Catholic here in the fourth. Here's a long three, off the mark by Bell, over the top of the board, out of bounds.
For the Rebels, number 3, Kristen Bell.
Tomorrow night at 7, we'll have the finals here, and we'll be simulcasting the game on WVLK 590 and PrepSpin, so you can listen to it on the radio, or if you watch it on PrepSpin, you'll hear the audio broadcast on WVLK. Coach Justin Cheatham, former Tates Creek coach, will join me for that one. Great to have Tony Wise aboard tonight for both ball games, coach over Franklin County.
I think Coach Adams is, I don't want to say completely throwing the white towel, but takes out 2 starters.
He's got it kind of waving over there. I'm seeing a little bit of the white towel come up, but he hasn't thrown it out on the floor yet.
They made a great run. Catholic scored back-to-back possessions, as we talked about, 50-41, and called the timeout. And at the time, they had all the momentum. It's been a 15-3 run for Catholic since that timeout.
And this is where Catholic's hard to handle because their guards, Griffin, Talbot, and Tanner Johnson, forward, are such good ball handlers.
Oh, they get the lead late. It is very difficult to catch them.
Griffin, ball knocked away there by Boyle's Zach Lay, member of that football team for Coach Chuck Smith in Boyle County. Had some big catches in the game against Catholic, as a matter of fact, as I recall. 2:12 to go here in this basketball game, 65-44 between two Titans on the gridiron, Boyle and Catholic. Two really good basketball. I still think Boyle County is my favorite in that 12th region.
Oh, I'd agree. Somebody's going to have to beat them. I'm not sure they see the offensive firepower in the 12th region that they saw tonight initially.
Yep. By Tanner Johnson in particular. Tanner, I show with 31 points, Coach, and of course the average is 24, one of the leading scorers in the 11th region. And what are the officials talking about here, Coach?
Double technical foul.
Number 22 on the ninth.
I think Zach Lay and Tanner Johnson both got a double technical, just running their mouth. So Coach Salzman, I've got a couple young kids coming in, get those kids out of the game. It's been chippy, especially ever since the scrum on the floor with Hinkle and Talbot, and then we had the skirmish here with the assistant coach and the Boyle County fan at halftime. I mean, it's ever since that scrum, it's been a little more than chippy, that's for sure.
Nice crowd in here for the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic at Lexington Catholic. Nice crowd in here at Boyle County Catholic. Boyle battled back, Coach. They had it down to 50-41, but since it was 50-41, it's been 15-3 Catholic with the run to take a 65-44 lead.
All Catholic ever since that Boyle County timeout.
Minute 56 to play. Henderson County Trinity coming up about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Join Coach Wise and me for the call of that one. Ball knocked away. Agbugu on the floor, and he loves the contact. Agbugu.
He's in his comfort zone right there,
He's in his comfort zone. He's one of the top receivers you'll see coming back next year is J.J. Agbugu, number 4 there. And it looks like, let's give some Catholic players in the game for Lex Cath. Max Sparkman is checked in. As we said, Agbugu in there. Also, Joe Gilbert is in the game. And who else in there for Catholic? With it for Boyle, they have Tristan Bell in there. Also in for Lex Cath is Blake Scott. Foul one on Sparkman. At the line will be Keegan Hinkle. I like this Hinkle kid, Coach. He's a solid player.
Knows his role, a lot like Reese Ryan from Lexington Catholic. Knows his role. He can hit the open shot. Yeah, I'm sure that Boyle County fans will leave tonight saying, the officials weren't very good. I would disagree with that. Outside of the scrum and a couple other calls, for the most part, I think it's been pretty well officiated. You just have to give credit to Lexington Catholic that came out and threw haymakers early, got up 10 or 15 points really, really quick. Tanner Johnson was on fire and unstoppable. And really, Boyle County never really recovered.
Gilbert, long pass to Sparkman. McCauley's in there, too. He's got it. First time we've seen Ridge McCauley for the Knights.
We have JV basketball going on right now.
We sure do.
And I'll tell you what, teamwork goes out the window at this point. If I'm a JV kid, I am launching from anywhere I can get my hands on it.
Ridge McCauley.
You got to get in the scorebook.
That's right. You got a pretty good look from your JV coach there at Franklin County when you said that. Minute 7 here to go, and Catholic's going to move on to the finals of their own tournament, take on either Trinity or Henderson. They play next about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Down under a minute. Down low, Zach Lay off glass, no. Rebound, Agbugu. Boy, he got up for that
rebound,
did.
Too.
J.J. Agbugu, 6'3". I don't know if he's 6'3", but that's what they list him at, Coach.
I don't know, but he's a good-looking athlete.
Joe Gilbert.
Oh, that's got to go up.
Over to McCauley, the 3, back of the rim, no. And rebounded by Boyle. Coming out of there with it is Del Castillo. Del Castillo has it. 30 seconds. He kicks it back to Sloan. Sloan fakes with the ball. Nice reverse, no. And pulled out of there and rebounded by Catholic. And coming out of there with it was Max Sparkman, the 6'6 freshman. Here's a steal by Del Castillo, and he lays it up and in. Del Castillo, say that 10 times. 65-47. Catholic's going to advance. They will take on Trinity or Henderson for the championship here tomorrow night at 7 on WDLK and PrepSpin. Your final score, 65-47. Coach, before we take our break and come back with the next game, your final thoughts on this game, Boyle and Catholic.
Well, you kind of want to ask the question, is Lexington Catholic that good? And I say they are when they make shots, because I've seen them enough over the last couple of years. If they don't make those shots, they're going to struggle to score. But tonight they were on fire. Give them all the credit in the world. At the same time, Boyle County is not as poorly as they played tonight. They are the favorite to win in the 12th region. And as I said it the other night, and I'll say it again tonight, they would be a very difficult matchup at Rupp Arena because of the extra space on the floor. That gives Bell, that gives Tyler extra space to work. And we've already seen what a difference maker Colton Elkins can be back there on the back line of the defense.
Eight block shots tonight for the big fella for Boyle. 8 block shots unofficially.
Yeah, so I expect Boyle County won't be losing much this year, that's for sure. Quality ball club.
We'll come back in a bit, and we'll have Trinity and Henderson County as Lexington Catholic wins it over a very good Boyle County team, 65-47. We'll come back with Trinity Henderson County here in about 10 minutes or so here on PrepSpin. This is Gary Ball with Tony Wise and William Warfield. We'll return with Trinity Henderson County after this.